Hello everybody, this is Teresa Swan. I just wanted to make this very short video about appreciating your life. So many people are focused on material things and they bring you no happiness at all, do they? You might occasionally buy something that you really like a dress or something, or a jumper, top, bag, but that's it, isn't it? So many people are so far away from their own soul, aren't they? I've been telling people for years that the universe is looking after me, and now I'm starting to change my mind, not because I don't appreciate it, but I think it's actually coming out of me. It's me that leads me. It's my inner self that talks to me, isn't it? There is outside help, I do believe that, but it's me that creates these things with my thoughts. I create my own world, I know, my own aura around me. So when I found this house, really, it was because I manifested it. I was thinking about it, I manifested it, I did the work to bring it about, didn't I? So a lot of people say, who are you talking to? And it's me, my inner self, not someone else, it's me. And I do believe there are spirits, and I do believe in Jesus. I'm not sure he's really called that. I believe he's perhaps not that colour, not really that, looks like that. But there is, I've always firmly believed in, since I was a small child, and that's probably because I was told about him, but that's carried on anyway. I believe there is a Jesus character, maybe called Yahuwah, something, Yahweh, but he's there. But whether he can help every single one of us every day is another matter, isn't it? But I follow my own, it's like a sat-nav, isn't it? My own inner sat-nav. And I project things out, such as yesterday going to work, I projected out that the shift was going to be really good. No negative thoughts about it, the shift is going to go really well, and it did. My son had ordered something off the internet and it looked like it was going to come once I'd left for work, so I projected out in the morning, the parcel will come before I leave the house. And it did, and it wasn't supposed to. So it did. So I thought, this is working really well, isn't it? So who's creating that? That's me. I'm creating that magic, aren't I, with my intent. So we're all extremely powerful souls, and that is something you're not told about at school, isn't it? Once we tune into this, it gets, I believe, stronger and stronger and stronger. I regularly say when out walking, I don't go out with my dog if it was pouring rain, but I take other people's dogs out for walks, and I say me and, say, Ruby are not going to get wet out on this walk. Sometimes I say drenched because I don't mind getting wet, I just don't want to get drenched. Sometimes I say me and Ruby because I accept that I might get wet that day, but not drenched, and I don't. The amount of times I take this dog back home and it starts raining just as I get to the front door, and I laugh all the way back to my car because we've been on a 30-minute walk when we would have got drenched, but it waits, doesn't start raining heavy or doesn't start raining at all till I get her back to her house. So I have created that. I have put the rain off tool, or is it because I've just created that, manifested that around me? It might be raining somewhere down the road, mightn't it, but not around me, because I've said that's not going to happen, and then I've created that. So many people I notice every day are walking around happy. I'm sorry, not happy, unhappy. I've met a very happy lady today, did a reading for, called Holly, and she was lovely, and she's one of the happy lights, the bright lights. And I used to hang around with a lot more people who are negative. I choose not to do that now. I have one living with me, but you know, avoidance is the best way, isn't it? Avoid them. Keep in your happy light. Enjoy your day. Decide you're going to smile a lot more. I've said before, I started to do this because I was clenching my teeth, so I decided that in the morning, from the moment I woke up, I'm going to start smiling, and because it releases tension. Then I realised that actually started to make me feel a lot happier, and now I'm in that happy light now, and I'm staying there. I have my odd moments, but they don't last long. I did see a quote on the internet this week by Denzel Washington that is still making me laugh. It said, throughout your life you will find some people that just don't seem to like you, and that is because your light irritates their demons. And it's so true, isn't it? So I've had so many episodes through my life when people have decided to come and tell me, you're quiet, you're this, you're that. Well, I haven't even said anything. They go out of their way to come and tell me, you're quiet, and I haven't even opened my mouth. So how do they know I'm quiet? I might be thinking. I'm a great thinker. I'm a great detective, so that's my dog, inner detective. I always trusted my instinct. And I realised a lot recently, I've always used my radar. Always been in tune with it, just didn't know what it was. Now I do know what it is. I follow it all the time. Never ever would ignore it. Would not question. Now I wouldn't, probably did before in the past. I'm 54, so obviously in my past I have ignored it because other people have told you to, really. Like, say you come home from school and you're saying that this girl is, you really don't like her. Mums or dads or nans could have said, or brothers, sisters, could say, oh, don't think like that, don't think like that about them. But actually what you thought about them that day, and that what you'd felt when you first met them and they said this thing to you or looked at you that way, will always be proven right. So it's other people sometimes put you off what you're thinking, your radar, especially when you're growing up. But you must follow it. Your gut instinct is your sat-nav. It's your inner sat-nav. Sometimes in my car, I only use my sat-nav when I go on journeys to places I don't know, obviously, and much further away. And sometimes I've ignored the sat-nav because I thought, nope, that's driving along. I think, nope, that's not the right way. Ignore it, and I'm right. And I don't know because I've not been to the place before. But it's in my inner, as the man's talking on the sat-nav, I just think no. Sometimes I think yes. On the way home, I sometimes ignore it because I decide, I'm going to go down a different way, because you see different things, don't you? If you're not in a hurry, you see different things and you go down a different road and it's lovely. You can only do that, I said, if you're not in a rush, can't you? Now, my son is working up lots of his friends, not intentionally, it's just that they're changing, and I think this is lovely that so many young people are waking up. They're not like me when I was, they are like me when I was that age, because I wasn't like that, but I always felt odd, always felt the odd one out, I suppose. My earliest memories of being picked on was when I used to go around a shop local to where I lived, and this girl used to stand outside her house and have to say to me in a negative way as I walked past, Signet. Okay? Don't think the first time I knew what one was. Then my surname's Swan, and she felt this need to say it to me every time I walked past. So she must have waited, this girl. She was probably about a year older than me. How boring must her life have been that she waited, because she didn't know what time I was going to go around the shop. I didn't go around there at the same time. I didn't go around there every day. So she must have been watching out the window all the time, or her own sat-nav said, oh, she's coming, perhaps a demon. And then she'd just say that as I walked past the Signet, like it bothered me. But this sort of thing has happened to me throughout my life. People find the need to say something to me to offend me, but like I said, now I know that could be an inner demon seeing my light walking down the road and not liking it, liking me sharing it with everybody in the planet. But you need to find your inner light, connect to it. It's there, perhaps not in some people. Find it, connect to it, and then share it with this world, because we can change this world. We don't have to believe what we've been told. Start believing your inner mind and body and soul, inner radar, and you'll realise that you can actually change things. For example, we can heal people, we can heal ourselves. A family could heal a very sick person by just all joining up and intently healing that person. Or they could do it on their own. They might have the power to do it on their own, mightn't they? We have the power to heal ourselves. So if we can do this, we can change the world. if we all decided on one day, say 3 o'clock on Wednesday, that we're all going to project out peace and love around the world, that would have the most massive vibration around the planet and change things. Don't watch the news. The news brings you down. You get frightened. You get down, and you get depressed watching it. It has changed your vibration. Don't watch it. Don't watch depressing, violent programs, especially if you're sensitive, because it's going to affect you. It's going to bring you down, isn't it? And don't let what other people say bother you. I have learned that lesson. It's taken me quite a while to work that one out. But now, if people irritate me, which they do, some people, I just don't think about it a lot. In fact, I usually just laugh about it, where before I was like, what's wrong with them, go on about that. But now I just think, oh well, that's them. That's their problem. That's their issue, isn't it? That's their demon talking. Or it's just them, because just some people. It's some people's own personalities, isn't it? It's not a demon, it's their own self. Who get very irritated, some people, by when you haven't really said a thing. You only said it in a kind way. So what is that? Why do they get so irritated, these people? It's very hard working with other people, I feel, because I've been working from home for quite a few years now, doing readings for a psychic phone company and myself. And going back into the workplace, it's great fun because I feel differently now about the way people act. I can do it now because I can see through people. I can read people. Some people have got motives. Some people have not. Some people are lovely, not very different the people I work with, but all good in their own way. But some are a bit bonkers and focus too much on their. It's a black van backing into the. Just wondering if someone's died. You know, one of those vans. Hopefully not. Anyway, so I'm going to take my dog out for a lovely walk. I'm going to enjoy that blissful walk. I'm going to enjoy my legs. Always say thank you for my legs. My sight, my hearing. You've got to say thank you for every single bit of you. My job as a carer and meeting lots of people in readings, and I can read people now. I can see what they're saying in their head, most of them. Are cursing their bodies, cursing their legs. If they're walking around all the time going, oh, my feet are hurting so much, what's going to happen? You might lose them. So even if you're in pain, there's a reason you're in pain. And you've caused that pain by your food and thoughts, haven't you? Imbalance of chemicals in your body, imbalance of calcium, magnesium. You have caused it. So you can uncause it, can't you? You can restore it. But thoughts are so powerful. A lady I know, her husband died last year, and she told me today he was forever saying he was going to die, which is a bit silly really, because inevitably we all are going to, aren't we? So that she had to listen to that, by the way, every day. And he thought for years he was going to die of lung cancer, and he did. So it took a while to create it, because perhaps his subconscious was trying to ignore it. But he died of what he wanted to die of, that he'd been talking about for years. So he definitely manifested it, didn't he? Some people might say, oh no, it's a premonition he had. He had a premonition he was going to die of this thing. And that's why he died of it, because he had that inner core feeling he was going to die of it. But is it that? Or did he create it? I believe you create it. Like so many people believe, and this is most 99% of the time is not true, that because your parents or grandparents have died of something, you are not necessarily going to die of it. If you believe you're going to die of it, you will die of it. Like Alzheimer's. My auntie recently died of Alzheimer's. I don't think she died of Alzheimer's. I think she died of the medication for the Alzheimer's. And her daughters now think they're going to get Alzheimer's, because our uncle also had that problem, and Nan was diagnosed with something similar to that problem, but she died of cancer of the stomach, so she didn't die of that. So it's that they think the family's a curse, on the family. They haven't said that, but that's the sort of effect they think. So there's 3 of them. They definitely think probably at least 2 of them are going to guess it, aren't they? And that we're doomed. I did say to them, you could also think, oh well, my mum might have died with that, but I'm not going to. But they just think because it's in the family, they believe it's in the family. It's not hereditary. It's not catching. They're going to die of it, but they will create that. So every time they forget something, they think they've got it. I forget things. Children forget things, don't they? Everybody does. You don't go, oh my God, I'm cursed.